to Loudmouth News, coming at you from Seattle. Let's talk about it.
Rest in peace, Gorilla Glue, the strain that lost its name to a lawsuit.
I'm taking it you're looking at that story from the website, loudmouthnews.com.
Yeah, it's right. It's right here. But what I don't understand is there's a historic lawsuit between the makers of Gorilla Glue and growers of a similarly named cannabis strain, and it's ended with a settlement. But here's what's crazy. The 6-month-long case resulted in some major changes to one of the cannabis industry's most well-known brands and set the stage for more cases of its kind.
Well, enlighten me. What well-known brand are we talking about here?
Gorilla Glue.
Of course.
Well, in March, Ohio-based Gorilla Glue took issue with GG strains, which first grew the most popular hybrid strain, Gorilla Glue number 4, for violating trademarks. But well, no kidding.
Gorilla Glue. So GG strain stands for Gorilla Glue?
Yeah!
They grew the popular hybrid strain Gorilla Glue number 4, and they basically got nailed for violating trademarks.
Gorilla Glue is suing GG strains, huh?
They took their money. You're coming out with something called Gorilla Glue number 4, and you're not expecting to get nailed? I mean, what if you came out with the Big Mac Attack weed or something?
As for whether I'd hit that or not, I'd have to say, hells yeah.
Gorilla Glue. I mean, you know what? You've heard of this before. Frivolous lawsuits. Perhaps this goes in that same category. What do you think?
Well, no.
No?
It's not frivolous at all.
Wow.
Not even close. You've got Gorilla Glue, who is, you said it yourself, well-known brand, been around for a long, long time. They claim they have a family-oriented reputation. And then you've got some other company, no matter what market they're in, and they just come out with something called Gorilla Glue number 4. I mean, I couldn't come out with a vodka called Gorilla Glue number 4, or
no, you couldn't. But then you could
use a tennis shoe called Gorilla Glue number 4.
My assumption is that GG is a stretch. I mean, GG could be a girl's name from France.
Oh, GG's fine. The problem is they named their strain Gorilla Glue number 4. If they'd have just called it GG strains, it would have been fine.
If they just called it GG strains, it would have been fine. But what were they thinking? Were they high?
Oh yeah!
Oh, it's even worse. It's even worse. Oh my God. Evidently, GG strains branding not only, I mean, they even used a very similar, confusingly similar logo and branding and packaging to the Gorilla Glue. So they blatantly went out and ripped them off. I do not consider that.
Okay, blatant is a strong word, but man, you sound like you got to, it sounds like a strong case.
Unbelievable. I mean, they basically thought they could come out in today's world of trademark protection. I mean, they might as well come out and gone after Coca-Cola.
Just for the taste of it. Just for the taste of it.
There you go again with that legalese stuff. Yeah, it is a lawsuit. Gorilla Glue is going to win this lawsuit. And then where does GG go after this? It's not going to put them out of business.
Well, no, there's a settlement. There's a settlement.
It's one of those
they basically
undisclosed amount of money
to not continue to take it through the court process because, well, they have no case. I mean, they clearly
have
no
nothing
case
to stand on when you go around calling it Gorilla Glue, huh?
No. Gorilla Glue's case would stick. It would definitely stick.
How about Hostess Twinkie number 7?
It would probably hold. Their case is so strong it would hold a construction worker by his hat.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
Which means that any dispensaries that carry GG strains branding will have to remove all mention of the word gorilla. So what does that mean for the shop who spent all this money buying this stuff wholesale?
So they are changing it to GG. They're changing it to GG number 1, number 4, number 5. They have 12 months to rebrand
and we're doing like,
it.
yeah, that's a lot of
Why
logistics
would you
going on
give
with
them 12 minutes?
Give them a year. I mean, you got people that have bought this stuff wholesale and they're selling it in their dispensaries, and they got to go, wow, because of this lawsuit, we can't sell it anymore. I got to pull it off my shelf like it's tainted.
Like Hendrick's vodka.
Well, yeah, it is tainted in a sense, but it's still good, but they can't sell it anymore.
It says they reached a settlement up here, but down here it says the court order extends beyond GG strains to its partners and licensees. Oh, well, that means any dispensaries can carry GG strains branding will also have to remove all of it.
You are out of here.
Yeah, well, you know what? Our listeners can go to loudmouthnews.com, check out the story for yourself, because the story aired today. And we're talking about it, but I'm surprised. I've never heard of GG strains.
Well, I haven't either, but I'm not.
But they say it's
professing
world
to
famous.
know
I mean,
all
if
of
we
the-
walk into a dispensary, why don't we walk into a dispensary and interview people and say, you got any GG? And then perhaps they can enlighten us like, well, no, dude, we had to pull it off the shelf because of a lawsuit.
They might. They might. You know, it could be in Amsterdam. I don't know how famous this world famous place is, and they could be. No, sorry, man.
World famous.
You must go to Home Depot.
You must go to home. Yeah, for Gorilla Glue?
Yeah, we can get it there.
Okay.
So we talked before about this drive-through thing in Maine. Evidently, that's causing, well, a big uproar.
Yeah, I had a big uproar in the studio when you brought up that story because that was the thing. I said, what? You can actually go to a drive-through and say, hey, I want that.
Would you like fries with that?
And I want a lot of it. And they go, yeah, sure. I hand them money and they hand me marijuana and I drive away.
So they're trying to actually, they're discussing it. And one of the key issues they're actually talking about is how to make it so that people who are 21 or older could purchase cannabis from licensed dispensaries through a drive-through window.
Because you can obviously walk in and buy it, so...
Oh, as well as being able to purchase it over the internet. So if you can legally buy porn, I guess you can legally buy weed.
That sounds about right.
What? Yeah, I guess you can, right?
I wonder if you could get your weed delivered. If you're legal and you're able to drive up to a dispensary and buy it for yourself, and then you're basically able to drive through window, why couldn't you just Uber Eats it and then just say, deliver it to my house?
You know, I know somebody who was a member of one of these companies that, you know, you can order online.
Yeah.
He ordered vodka.
My name's Florence. What's your name? Buy me vodka?
Okay.
And they delivered it.
Sure.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely do that. Not everywhere, but you can definitely
So this
do
is
that.
driving the lawmakers. I'm assuming this is driving the lawmakers absolutely bonkers. Like, man, now what? They could drive away with it. Now they can order it online.
Oh, I mean, they already have the laboratory testing procedures, the tax rates, establishing regulations.
This is good.
Commercial home cultivation. They got all that stuff they already got to figure out.
Wow.
But now, not only do they're not saying no, they have to figure out how to regulate and
Right.
make it so that they're trying to make it as consumer friendly as anything else is, yet protect the fact that it's an adult related product and not for children.
You can order alcohol. That's my equivalent test right there. If they can do this with alcohol, why can't they do it with something that's also for entertainment, like cannabis?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, man.
You don't either.
I don't know.
Okay, I like the way you said that. You know, you're shaking your head, going, you know, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's nice.
I do know this girl keeps popping up.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Oh, yeah, she's
She's from Canada.
Ottawa.
Eh?
Well, she's a lawyer. Many of Canada's criminal lawyers are up in arms over Ottawa's recently unveiled rules surrounding blood drug concentration levels for drivers, and they're preparing for battle. And part of the issue of this is that your blood level does not depict your intoxication as it does with alcohol. Alcohol has a relatively linear drop off. You can say, hey, here's what the blood alcohol is. Here's how impaired they are. Here's how far it's going to go. But with marijuana taking so much longer to disperse, you still will have a high level.
Whoa, dude, I better go sit down.
You're sitting down, bro.
Oh, okay.
Without having the effect is the argument.
No, she said, I think this is her. She said there are a myriad of problems with the rules, lawyers, and it won't survive the constitutional court challenge, is what she's saying, when the rule becomes law.
I am the law!
Well, the new rule states that drivers with 5 or more nanograms of THC per millimeter of blood could be charged with impaired driving, as could drivers with at least 2.5 nanograms of THC and, now they're combination it, and at least 50 milligrams of alcohol per millimeter of blood. So they're saying that if you're like at 5 nanograms of THC, well, you shouldn't be operating the vehicle, but 4.9 is okay. Or if you're at 2.5, but you also have 50 of alcohol. So the combination of the two is where the real issue comes out.
People on booze should not drive.
Looks like in this story, they're also saying impaired drivers will have penalties ranging from a mandatory $1,000 fine for first offenders to mandatory 120 days for the third. So it's 3 dudes and you're out.
Yeah, it's only 120 days.
Right. Wow.
That's nothing compared to the laws we have in the U.S.
$1,000 fine.
Well, I mean, you're trying to lessen it. You're trying to lessen the act of driving under the influence of marijuana and making it a lesser offense than it is to drive with alcohol. Alcohol is far more stringent than what they're talking about here in the U.S.
Right.
I mean, your
They
first
don't mess
offense, your
around
first
here, right.
offense, you mandatorily lose your license for a year. You mandatorily spend a night in jail. You mandatorily have $1,000 fine, which can be paid off in
What about
certain
community
other
service?
ways.
Is that,
You can't-
do
you
they
can-
throw that in there too because they
usually
can?
you get that, but
Unbelievable.
it's not something that's it's mandatory according to the statute.
Back up again. You said the first time offenders? Like,
Yes.
they pull you over and say, hey, well, you're legally drunk.
Yeah, there's a grid. If you find the grid, it's cool. It's just a boxed grid that shows like
Wow.
first offender, second offender stuff. It shows you what you get mandatorily. Yeah, and it's
You know, a while back we did a...
it's a mandatory 90 days in jail for your second offense.
We did a segment a while back on drug driving. Do you remember that segment?
I do the drug driving thing.
Yeah, was that Oklahoma or was it Colorado or
Well, Washington just basically said it's exactly the same as DWI.
drug driving?
Yeah, it's the same.
Don't get caught drug driving. So where did you hear about this story?
Oh, this story I heard about on Loudmouth News. This has been a Loudmouth News break. If you want to hear everything going on in the cannabis industry, then turn into loudmouthnews.com. Let's talk about it.